Part E, Introduction. Do we truly know ourselves? Hello everyone. Welcome to the Australia's Buddhist Path Association podcast. Today, I want to talk about a topic that is both philosophical and brain-burning, but incredibly fascinating once you dive in. Where exactly is your mind? Most of you might laugh and say, Yinyi, isn't that a silly question? If the mind isn't beating inside my chest, where else could it be? My pocket. You're not wrong. Most of us, shaped by modern biology, see the heart as an organ that pumps blood. Or we follow neuroscience, which tells us that consciousness is just the firing of neurons in the brain. But over 2500 years ago, the Buddha and his top disciple Ananda, known as the foremost in hearing, engaged in a brilliant debate over this very question. This is how the famous Shurangama Sutra begins. Many people find the Shurangama Sutra intimidating because the classical text is so concise that every word carries immense weight, making it hard to digest. Today, I am going to take this profound dialogue and share it with you in the most direct, down-to-earth way possible. We're not here to play word games. We're here to grasp the core truth. Part R. The first debate is the mind inside the body. The story begins after Ananda was rescued by the Buddha. Feeling deep remorse, he asked the Buddha how to cultivate the path. Instead of teaching him meditation right away, the Buddha asked a fundamental question. Ananda, you say you have a mind that can perceive and think. Tell me, where is that mind located? Ananda's common sense, the internal theory. Ananda's answer was exactly what most of us would say today. He said, Word-honored one, is that even a question? Just look at all living beings. Everyone believes the mind that sees, hears, and thinks is definitely inside the body. Just as your lotus blue eyes are on your face, my eyes are on my face. This mind of mine, which knows everything, resides solidly within my body. Sounds reasonable, right? When we feel pain, we feel it inside. When we think in our heads. The Buddha's reality check, the analogy of the grand hall. The Buddha didn't argue directly. Instead, he elegantly set a logical trap. He asked Ananda, you are sitting in this grand hall right now. What do you see first? Ananda replied, Word-honored one, being in the hall, I first see you, then the assembly, and only when I look outward do I see the trees and the garden. The Buddha nodded and followed up, why can you see the garden outside? Ananda said, because the doors and windows of this hall are wide open. So, even while sitting inside, I can see the distant scenery. Now, here is the brilliant part. The Buddha said, Ananda, based on your logic, a person inside the hall can see outside because the windows are open. Is it possible for someone to be in this hall, fail to see the Buddha and the assembly right in front of them, yet somehow see the trees outside? Ananda shook his head. Word-honored one, that's impossible. If you are inside, how could you skip over what's right there and see only the outside? Son, the stinging conclusion. If you can't see your organs, your mind isn't inside. The Buddha smiled and said, Ananda, you are exactly that person. You say your mind is inside your body and can clearly perceive everything. Well, if your mind truly lived inside your body like a person in a hall, what should it see first? It should see your internal organs, your heart, liver, spleen, and stomach. Ananda must have been stunned. The Buddha added one more point. Even if you can't see your deep organs, your nails are growing, your hair is lengthening, your muscles are moving, and your pulse is throbbing. These internal operations are happening right under your nose. Your mind should see them clearly. But do you know exactly how many micrometers your nails grew today? Can you actually see your blood vessels pulsing? Ananda was speechless. The Buddha concluded, if you can't see what is right next to you on the inside, not knowing the internal, how can you claim to see what is far away on the outside, knowing the external? Therefore, the idea that the perceiving mind resides inside the body is logically unsustainable. Part 3. The second debate is the mind outside the body. Ananda was a clever man. He thought, okay, if it is not on the inside, let me try the other direction. Ananda's rebound. The light outside the room. Ananda bowed and said, Word-honored one, I get it now. Since I can't see the inside, my mind must be outside the body. It is like a lamp. If a lamp is inside a room, it must light up the room first. If the room is dark but the outside is bright, The lamp must be outside. Since I can't see my internals but can see the external world, my mind must be like that lamp hanging outside my body. The new metaphor, our mind and body disconnected. This time, the Buddha used an even more relatable example. He looked at the monks who had just returned from alms gathering and asked, Ananda, look at these monks. We just went to the city to beg for food. If I eat a meal alone right now, do you think the others will feel full? Ananda laughed. World-honored one. How could that be? We are all individuals with separate bodies. If you eat, only your stomach is full. How could everyone else be satisfied? The Buddha replied, exactly, Ananda. If your perceiving mind were truly outside your body, then your mind and body would be separate entities, like two different people. If that were the case, what the mind knows, the body wouldn't feel, and what the body feels, the mind wouldn't know. 3. The field test. But you know this, don't you? The Buddha held up his hand described as being as soft as golden cotton and moved it in front of Ananda. He asked, Ananda, I am showing you my hand right now. Your eyes see it. Does your mind know that I am reaching out? Ananda answered immediately. Of course, world-honored one. I see it clearly, and my mind understands it perfectly. The Buddha gestured. Since your mind instantly recognizes what your eyes see, it proves that your body and mind are intimately connected and in constant communication. If the mind were truly outside, how could it receive the signal from the eyes instantaneously? Therefore, saying the mind is outside the body is also incorrect. Part 4. Deep analysis. Why are we discussing this? At this point, some of you might be thinking, isn't this just a tongue twister? Inside, outside. Is the Buddha just picking on Ananda? Actually, this is the beauty of the Dharma. The Buddha wasn't playing word games. He was helping us dismantle our false cognitive structures. Most of our suffering in life stems from one deeply rooted concept, the ego self-attachment. We feel there is a solid me living inside this body, or that we own this body. When you think the mind is inside, you become overly attached to the flesh, treating it like a prison. When you think the mind is outside, you feel a sense of detachment or drift, chasing after illusions. There was a key term mentioned in the dialogue: luminous awareness. The thing that allows us to see colors, hear sounds, and feel heat is alive and fluid. It isn't like an apple that you can point to and say, it is in the basket or it is on the table. The moment Ananda tried to lock the mind into a physical location inside or outside, he was already off track. It is like asking, where is the wave in the ocean? Is the wave inside the water? The wave is the water. Is the wave outside the water? Without water, there is no wave. The Buddha is forcing Ananda and us to let go of rigid, mechanical ways of thinking. Part 4. Conclusion. Interaction. In today's episode, we moved house twice with the Buddha and Ananda. First, we realized the mind isn't inside because we can't see our own internals. Second, we realized it isn't outside because our mind and body are instantly connected. So, where is the mind? There are 5 more brilliant debates in the Shurangama Sutra. Is the mind in the eyes? Is it hidden in the cracks? Or is the mind simply the process of thinking itself? If you're curious about this, stay tuned for our next episode. We will continue following this ultimate master and disciple duo as they peel back the layers of consciousness to find our truest self. Thanks for listening. See you next time.